The discussion regarding the future of HR and development and learning. We have an international guest here today with us, the founder of Speech. Please welcome to the stage Armin Hopp. The stage is yours, Armin.
Good. So what a tough, I don't see my slides. Sorry, I don't see my slides. Okay, cool. So what a tough act to follow. I'm sorry for speaking English. Armin Hopp. I will be talking about the future of HR and L&D. My company is a people development platform. We are here. I don't want to talk about the company. I want to talk about HR and L&D and why I believe that it's not a training issue anymore in L&D. It's a transformation issue at this point in time. Let me start with the big number, 1 billion. So we're all saving stuff. We're saving money. And in this case, I want to show you someone has saved 1 billion years. This is a protein. I have to believe this. This is a protein. The thing about proteins is there are long chains of amino acids. You know that from school. And they fold up in trillions of shapes. And it takes about 5 years, a doctorate and a PhD, 5 years to unravel one of those proteins. There are 200 million proteins out there. So it's 1 billion years to unravel the mystery of all the proteins. That gives us medicine, personalization in medicine and all this. And Google DeepMind unraveled all of the proteins with an activity called AlphaFold a couple of weeks ago. So they saved 1 billion years. And my thesis is that no PhD will go away. They will just do other things. They will do more meaningful things. They will use the research. So no jobs will be lost by this. So somebody used 1 billion years. So for 1 billion years, if you had 1 billion years in your industry, what would you do with it? Or just 1,000 years, what would you do with it? And this is what I would like to discuss today. The downside, let me start with this. Automation technology in the 80s, robots, has cost lots of jobs. So the US blue-collar workers without high school diploma now earn less. They actually earn less than 15% less in real income than they did in the 1980s. That's the result of automation. And now, all things that can be spoken, everything in language, can be automated. Can happen automatically now. And so the next wave is rolling in. Programming. We were all looking for developers like 3 years ago. Nobody's really looking for developers anymore. Art creation, what ChatGPT just introduced a couple of days ago, will wipe out lots of creative activities. But those people will not leave the job market. What I believe is that mediocrity will be automated. So the World Economic Forum believes that about 60% of all activities in white-collar jobs are language-related. So this is the potential for automation, 60% of activities. So if your job functions are robotic, somebody will be replaced by a robot. On the other hand, the question is if this is really a problem, because we have the demographic change, so boomers are leaving the workforce, young people want to work 4 days a week, 3 days a week. We have the 996 movement in China. So this will not necessarily lead, this automation will not necessarily lead to people losing their jobs. KPMG found that 76% of CEOs in the top 500 companies are not planning to let people go just because of automation. What will happen is that 100% of jobs will change. And this is a super important thing for you in HR and L&D, because you're at the intersection of this change. You're at the intersection of people and knowledge. You will have to transform this workforce into new activities that are actually human, that are not threatened by AI. Sometimes it feels like we're going too fast, but I think the real question is if we want, for L&D, if we want to be relevant or lose relevance. I think Don Taylor brings this up in his research, highly recommended research. So this guy, the CEO of NVIDIA, he said AI agents will be managed by IT. Does your IT know that? Does your IT know they're the new HR? Do you want this to happen? You probably don't want to. This is where the challenge is at the moment. And what we're doing at the moment is we just push more learning. We just create more learning with AI just by pushing a button and create more learning, because it's so easy, but it's something that hasn't worked in the past. I believe it's not about tools, it's about behavior. And this is what L&D and HR need to do, change behavior patterns in your workforce. We need to think beyond tools. We need to really build behaviors. I just want to give you one example in Speaks. Pablo is a guy who works in tender management for Speaks. We get tenders, hundreds of pages, technical descriptions for a digital platform, learning platform, and it takes them months, really, weeks and months, to analyze all the requirements in those tenders. What he did, he put everything that we had, 10,000 of pages of tenders and responses or DPAs and all those documents into one safe container with a language model, and he brought this down from weeks to minutes. The analysis, now we are producing responses to RFPs, so he saved us years. Not billion years, but he saved us years in a very specific task that we have at Speaks. And you have those tasks in your company as well. You need to find your Pablos within the company. There's a guy called Ethan Mollick in the US. He calls those people the secret cyborgs because they're somewhere hidden in your organization. Normally you wouldn't even realize they're there. Pablo asked me if he had to use his credit card. And I said, well, no. So you can actually use my credit card for the data center that he was using. There's a great book called The Mythical Man Month that has, for 60 years, basically stood for the truth that if you add more programmers to a failing project, it will fail even more safely. It'll slow down. And this has changed. With technology, we can produce against this failure. The hottest new programming language, it's a good saying here, is English. We can talk things into existence. We can talk to a system and make things happen. Art, programming, this is something that a friend of mine did. It's just a 3D game with a fire engine in it. So where do those secret cyborgs come from? Josh Burson talks about the rise of the super worker. We think that those people need those 4 C's in there, and it's just the 4 C's of communication, creativity, curiosity, collaboration, and the whole thing of getting this together, finding the threshold between what AI is able to do and what people can do, finding the right points of collaboration is a skill that we're still learning. And this is something that happens in L&D. Don't use consultants. They don't know anything about your company. You need to do this from within. Find Pablos. So I think it's the golden age for L&D, and you need to stop pushing courses. You need to turn around the paradigm, because we're all in this together. And I just want to give you a quick example of what we do at Speaks. We have created something that we call the AI Exchange. It's not about the product. It's just about the adoption of AI in the company. So we have lots of developers who are sort of pushing for the limits in AI. At the same time, we have administration, marketing, just like the people that work for your companies as well. So we have this twofold challenge. What we did is we created an exchange format where people like Pablo and much more trivial solutions, use cases are being presented every month. And this has led to people being open about their playing around, about there being cyborgs within the organization. And at the same time, we've created something that we call the AI crew with a lab that is really working towards goals. So we have a project, we want to use AI for RFP responses, for example. That's development work, we pay for it. We actually give those people safe spaces to work in. So not about the product, and 2 different lines of communication for beginners and starters and for real experts in the systems. For this, we have created a strategy where I believe the most important thing is people make the difference. When technology is the same for everyone, it will be people making the difference. It's now a transformative time where we see that some companies are taking competitive advantage, but this will not last. The second thing you need, super worker mindset in your company. And of course, you need to be a tech pioneer yourself. You don't need to be a programmer, but you need to lead tech pioneering in the company. Then, of course, don't push tools just for the sake of it. Use them to actually make value, good value for the companies. Number 5 is focus on strength and simplify everything. And number 6 is tie everything to business goals. We do this with our OKRs. If we just tie everything to our goals in the company, that helps a lot. So on the number 7, it's the bonus track. It's create a safe space for entrepreneurs in your company. Make them happy, reward them, and give them something for it, and to just ask them to come forward. It needs to be a very safe space, and psychological safety is very important. There's nothing too trivial for anyone coming forward. So, final words. It's nothing that you can really plan. So if you plan and follow this plan, you will fail. AI is a moving target. So just be agile, be curious, lead in technology. And there's another thing, it's not organizations that are innovative, it's people. It's the Pablos in your organization. You need to find those people. You need to find the cyborgs in the organization. And those are typically the people that nobody knows. They're just playing around, nerds. And there's so much value in those people for us as Speaks and for any other company that you know that you work for. So I truly believe that this is the golden age for L&D. It's HR in many ways is the new operating system for large corporations. And you have the power to make or break how this works. So you might want to start saving not 1 billion years, but a couple of years for your organization as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.